Listen to me. You didn't wake up this morning by accident. That breath in your lungs, that fire still flickering in your heart, that's purpose, that's power, that's proof. Proof that God ain't through with you yet. You see, you've been walking around thinking you're just trying to make it, just trying to survive, trying to get by. But let me tell you something straight. You were chosen. Long before you ever knew your name. Long before this world ever tried to label you. God already put something on your life that can't be erased. You're not here because of luck. You're not here because you're perfect. You're here because you've been called. Set apart, anointed, appointed. That pain you felt, that loneliness, that season when nobody understood you. That wasn't because something was wrong with you. That was because something was right with you. Heaven had its eyes on you before the world ever saw you. And the thing is, the world doesn't celebrate the chosen one while they're being chosen. Nah, they doubt you. They ignore you. They laugh. They look the other way. But God, He's doing something behind the curtain. He's preparing you in private so He can elevate you in public. That rejection, that betrayal, that closed door, all part of the process. Because you were never meant to blend in. You were built to stand out. You might not feel ready. You might be saying, why me? But God says, why not you? He didn't choose you because you were perfect. He chose you because He saw purpose in you. He didn't call the qualified, He qualified the called. You, right there, with all your flaws, all your doubts, all your brokenness. And He still said that one. That's the one I want. You ever wonder why you keep surviving what others couldn't? Why your heart keeps beating through battles that should have crushed it? Because something is on you. A mark, a light, and I need you to stop dimming that light just to make others feel comfortable. God didn't ask you to shrink. He asked you to shine. So rise up, step into it. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for someone to clap for you, because heaven's already clapping. This is your season, not next year, not after you get the job, not once you feel better. Now, tonight, before you lay your head down on that pillow, I want you to understand something deep in your soul. You are the chosen one, and you ain't chosen to just exist. You're chosen to impact. You're chosen to build. You're chosen to break chains that have run through generations. You're chosen to walk into rooms that people said you'd never enter, to speak into lives that thought all hope was lost. And listen, it's not always going to be easy. The path of the chosen ain't soft. But it's sacred. Every tear, every test, every lonely night, it's shaping you, molding you, so you can carry what others can't. Because your calling is too heavy for average shoulders. So stop questioning your worth. Stop waiting for a sign. This is it. This message right here. God wants you to hear this before tonight, because something's about to shift. A door is about to open. A chain is about to break. But it all begins when you believe that you've been chosen. So go ahead, stand tall, shoulders back, eyes up, and say it with your chest. I was born for this, because you were. Now tell me, are you ready to walk like the chosen one you were born to be? But you need to understand how this powerful shift works, so you can fully embrace the manifestation of your desires. Before we dive into this life-changing message, take a moment to pause. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 77. This number holds immense power and will amplify the energy of this message. And remember, if you are truly a chosen one, you'll watch this video until the end. Your spirit already knows this is for you. If you're ready, then get ready. Pain isn't punishment. It's preparation. And you need to hear that, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Because when life hits you hard, when the nights get long and the answers don't come, the first thing we think is, what did I do wrong? But I'm here to tell you something different. I'm here to shift your whole perspective. What you're going through is not about guilt. It's about growth. God doesn't hurt you to harm you. He allows certain things to happen to heal you, to build you, to prepare you for the very thing you prayed for. You see, everybody wants to be great, but not everybody wants to go through the fire. And make no mistake, the fire is necessary, because gold doesn't shine unless it's been refined. Diamonds don't glisten unless they've been pressed. And you can't become the chosen one unless you've been tested. That test you're in, that heartbreak, that disappointment, that delay, it's not a punishment. It's a sign that something powerful is forming inside of you. God is strengthening your character, sharpening your discernment, and stretching your capacity, so when He does release the blessing, you can actually carry it. Think about it. If you got what you asked for too soon, it might crush you. If God handed you that platform, that relationship, that next level before you were ready, it could break you instead of bless you. So the pain, that's the gym your spirit is training in. That's where your roots grow deep. That's where humility is born. That's where discipline gets planted. And trust me, without those things, success won't sustain. But with them, you become unstoppable. I know it doesn't feel fair. I know you're tired. But listen, what if the delay is actually divine protection? What if the pain is God's way of saying, I love you too much to let you step into something half prepared? See, He's not denying you, He's developing you. And when He's done, you won't be the same person who entered the fire. You'll come out wiser, stronger, clearer, and more connected to your purpose than ever before. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this preparing me for? Because that shift in mindset, that right there, is when power begins to flow. That's when healing begins. That's when you stop running from the pain and start rising through it. You begin to realize that your story, your struggle, your scars, they're not signs of weakness. They're evidence of endurance. God's not punishing you. He's positioning you. And if you hold on, if you keep showing up even when it hurts, if you trust Him in the silence just as much as in the miracles, then what's on the other side of this pain will blow your mind. Because what you're feeling now is not the end. It's the becoming. Now let me ask you, are you willing to be prepared for what you've been praying for? The storm you're in is the path to your assignment. That might sound crazy when everything around you feels like it's falling apart, but listen to me and listen well. The very chaos you're trying to escape could be the exact environment where your purpose is being born. See, the chosen ones don't discover their calling on mountaintops. They find it in the valley. They find it when the rain won't stop and the sky won't clear. They find it in the middle of the storm, because that's where God meets them, molds them, and moves them. It's easy to praise when things are good. It's easy to trust when the path is clear. But storms are different. They test your foundation. They show you what you're really made of. And more importantly, they reveal what you've been called to do. The reason the wind's been so strong against you is because you're not heading nowhere. You're heading somewhere. The storm is confirmation that you're on the move, that something divine is trying to break through. But here's what most people miss. The storm isn't there to break you. It's there to build you, to strip away the distractions, to remove the people who can't go with you, to kill the parts of you that were never meant to survive the next level. Because the truth is, before you step into your assignment, something in you has to die. The ego, the fear, the dependency, the excuses, the comfort, and nothing exposes all of that faster than a storm. You see, God allows storms not to destroy you, but to develop you. He sends you into deep water so you can learn to swim, so you can learn to walk by faith, not by sight. That confusion you're facing, it's carving clarity. That chaos, it's pushing you towards stillness. That fear, it's calling you to courage. And when it seems like the storm is never going to end, that's when God whispers, keep going. I'm not finished yet. Sometimes He doesn't calm the storm because He's trying to calm you. He's trying to teach you how to find peace inside the storm. Because your assignment is going to require that. You're going to face people who doubt you, battles that drain you, and moments that shake your soul. But if you learn how to stand firm now, you'll be ready then. Think about every person in history who walked in power. They all went through storms. Moses had the Red Sea, David had Goliath, Jesus had the cross. And you have your own storm. And though it may not be written in any scripture, heaven is watching how you move through it. Will you fold? Or will you rise? Will you complain? Or will you conquer? Because on the other side of this storm is clarity, purpose, alignment. There's a version of you waiting, one that's wiser, stronger, and more obedient to the call. But you'll never meet that version if you quit in the middle. You'll never walk in the fullness of your assignment if you keep running from the rain. So today, I challenge you, stop cursing the storm, start learning from it. Start walking through it with your head high, knowing that every lightning strike is lighting your path. The thunder? That's just heaven applauding your next move. And the wind? It's only strong because you're carrying something powerful. You were never meant to drown in this. You were meant to transform in it. Now tell me, will you let the storm define you, or will you let it deliver you to your destiny? God delays, but He never denies what's meant for you. And if you're living in that in-between season right now, waiting, wondering, wrestling with doubt, let me remind you, the delay is not a no, it's a setup. It's the sacred space where your faith gets forged, where patience becomes your weapon, and where trust becomes your anchor. You see, when God delays something, it's not because He forgot you. It's because He's aligning everything for you. We get so caught up in our timeline, thinking we should be further, thinking it should have happened by now. But God doesn't move by your clock. He moves by His calendar. He sees the whole picture, not just the moment you're in. And sometimes He'll hold back a blessing not because you're unworthy, but because the world around you ain't ready. The connections aren't in place yet. The people who need to see your breakthrough, they haven't arrived yet. The situation that needs to shift, it's still moving into position. And in that silence, in that stretch of unanswered prayers, the enemy starts whispering, God's forgotten you, but that's a lie. Because God's memory is perfect. He knows every promise He spoke over you, every tear you cried, every dream you dared to believe. And when the time is right, when the soil is ready, and your heart is mature enough to carry the weight of the blessing, He will move so fast it'll leave you speechless. The delay is divine. It's a test, yes, but more than that, it's protection. Because premature success can become poison. If you get what you asked for before you're ready, it can destroy you. So God holds it back, not because He's cruel, but because He's kind. And He's not just preparing the blessing for you. He's preparing you for the blessing. You're in a season of becoming. Every day you don't see the answer is a day He's building something in you that the blessing will require. Patience, humility, resilience, wisdom. It's like a seed in the ground. You don't see anything for a while, but underground, the roots are growing. The foundation is forming. And then, one day, that seed bursts through the soil, not because the sun just showed up, but because it was ready. And that's you. You're in the root season. Hidden, but not forgotten. Buried, but not dead. Delayed, but not denied. If you only knew what God is working on behind the scenes. The doors He's opening, the hearts He's softening, the chains He's breaking in places you can't even see. You'd stop worrying and start worshiping. You'd stop questioning the wait and start thanking Him for the pause. Because in that pause, He's protecting your destiny. So don't give up. Don't downgrade your dreams just because the delivery is taking longer than expected. Don't let frustration blind you from the fact that you're right on schedule, His schedule. And when He does it, not if, but when, it'll be better than you imagined. Because what's meant for you can't be stolen, delayed, or destroyed. It's got your name on it, written in heaven, sealed by grace. And no man, no devil, no delay can take that away. So trust the process. Embrace the silence. Stay faithful in the middle, because just when you think He's late, God shows up right on time, with a miracle that reminds you why you had to wait. Now ask yourself, do you trust Him enough to praise Him before the breakthrough comes? When people walk away, it's because their chapter in your story has ended. And I know that hurts. I know the silence they left behind still echoes in your soul. I know the unanswered calls, the sudden distance, the ones who said they'd stay and didn't. I know that pain. But you've got to hear this. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the finish line. Some people were only ever meant to get you to a certain mile marker and then exit. It doesn't make them bad. It makes them temporary. And when God is writing your story, He doesn't ask your permission to turn the page. Sometimes we beg God to bring certain people back into our lives, not realizing that He removed them for our protection. You thought they were loyal. but God saw their heart. You thought they'd build with you, but God knew they'd break you later. And so He allowed the distance. He let them fade. He let them leave, because their part in your growth was over. And if they had stayed any longer, they would have started poisoning what He was planting in you. You see, we hold on because we're human. We crave connection. We find comfort in familiarity, even when that familiarity is dysfunctional. But when you're a chosen one, when you've been called to higher ground, God will start trimming your circle like a gardener trims branches. And if you don't understand what He's doing, you'll mistake that pruning for punishment. But it's not punishment, it's preparation. He's clearing space for people who can handle the next level. People who don't compete with your calling, people who pray for you in private, people who don't disappear when things get dark. Let me tell you this. Elevation demands separation. You cannot fly with anchors around your ankles. And sometimes the only way God can lift you is by letting people fall off. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, it's painful, but it's necessary. Because the path you're on is sacred. It's not for everyone. And if they were meant to stay, they would have stayed. Trust that. Every goodbye is not a loss. Some goodbyes are gains in disguise. Because as long as you keep holding on to what was, you block what could be. You delay what's coming next. You miss the divine replacements God is trying to send because your heart is still clinging to people who've already left the building. Let them go. Let them be. If they walked away, it wasn't by accident, it was alignment. And maybe, just maybe, their exit is what unlocks your next season. Maybe God needed you to get uncomfortable so you'd move forward. Maybe that heartbreak is what's forcing you to look up and find Him again. Because He's the one that never leaves, never switches up, never walks away. While people are temporary, His presence is eternal. So stop replaying the past. Stop overanalyzing what went wrong. Some chapters just have to close. Some characters just weren't meant for the whole book. You've got more story to live, and God's not finished writing. But you can't step into the next scene carrying old weight. Release them. Forgive them. Bless them. Forgive them, but don't chase them. Because what God has for you is not behind you, it's ahead. And the ones who are meant to be in your life, they'll show up, they'll stay, they'll grow with you. You won't have to force it, it'll just flow. Now let me ask you, are you willing to lose people in order to find your purpose? The enemy knows your future, and that's why your present feels so heavy. See, the weight you're carrying right now isn't just about your past mistakes or today's challenges. It's about what's coming. It's about what's been spoken over your life, the calling that's been assigned to your name. The enemy isn't attacking you because of where you've been. He's attacking you because of where you're going. He sees your potential. He senses the breakthrough. He knows if you ever fully step into your purpose, there won't be anything he can do to stop you. So he's doing everything he can to stop you now. The enemy doesn't waste his weapons on people who aren't a threat. If you weren't carrying something powerful, he wouldn't be fighting you this hard. That anxiety out of nowhere, those relationships falling apart, those closed doors that don't make sense. It's all part of a deeper attack on your destiny. But what the enemy fails to understand is this. Pressure only makes the chosen one stronger. Resistance only sharpens the sword. And fire? Fire only purifies gold. You see, when God marks someone for greatness, hell takes notice. That's why your path has been rough. That's why nothing ever came easy for you. That's why you've had to cry silent tears in rooms where no one could see you, because the enemy wanted to break you before you could become who you were born to be. But here you are. Still standing, still believing, still pushing forward. And that's proof right there. Proof that heaven is backing you even when hell is chasing you. You weren't made for ordinary. You were made for impact. And the enemy knows that if you ever realize who you really are, if you ever wake up to your identity, your authority, your assignment, the game is over. So he hits you early. He hits you hard. He sends distraction. He sends delay. He tries to make you doubt yourself, question your worth, settle for less, or even walk away from it all. But you can't fold now. You've come too far. You've survived too much. And the very fact that you're still here means you're winning. This is the time to go deeper, not weaker. To pray harder, not panic more. To speak life over yourself when all you feel is pressure, because that pressure is not punishment. It's proof that you're next in line, proof that the enemy's scared of what you carry. He's trying to rob you of your peace because he knows your peace is powerful. He's trying to confuse your mind because your clarity is coming. He's trying to wear you out because your breakthrough is closer than you think. So don't be fooled by how heavy it feels. That weight is not the end, it's the beginning of something sacred. You're being refined, reshaped, and realigned. And what the enemy meant for evil, God is already flipping for your good. You're not going under, you're going through. And when you come out of this, and you'll be stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever. So lift your head, wipe your tears, shake off the lie that says you're not enough. Because the truth is, you've already won battles others didn't survive. And the enemy knows the chosen one always rises. Now ask yourself, if the enemy's fighting you this hard, what kind of greatness must be waiting on the other side?